I mean, really, this is a beginner friendly learn to sew pattern. Hello everyone, and happy day to you. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. My name is Talisha and I also go by CreativiTeeByT, and if you are new to watching the channel, I welcome you and I hope you consider subscribing. And thank you to all of my returning subscribers for coming back and for your continued support. So for today's video, I will be sharing a sewing fail. Actually, there were multiple sewing fails, and they're sewing fails that I am pretty shocked and disappointed about all at the same time. So if you would like to know more about these sewing fails, please continue to watch. All right, so let's get into this sewing fail show. I will start with a little backstory so that you all will be able to get a clear understanding of what's going on and how the sewing fail came about. So while I was making out my May sewing plans, I put on the docket to make dresses for my sister and I to wear to my younger sister's wedding coming up in June here. But I recently went to Myrtle Beach for a friend's wedding, and I felt as if I didn't have anything to wear, and I was going to make Simplicity 8911, which is a caftan. That plan would have been perfect, but I don't know how this happened, but I totally mismeasured my fabric and I didn't have enough fabric to cut when I laid it out. I thought I had laid it out and measured it, but apparently I must have been thinking of something else, or I must have gotten distracted. But yeah, I didn't have enough fabric. A total rookie move, right? But I did it. So I couldn't move on with that pattern unless I purchased more fabric. Didn't want to do that. So after that small fail, I thought to myself that maybe I could make another version of my rich auntie vibes caftan that I just made, which I used Simplicity 5628 to make. But then I decided to go against that because I didn't want to have two caftans that looked the same. And I will say that I do regret that decision because of what happened next. If I had gone with that decision, this next thing would not have happened.
So what happened was,
after I thought that I didn't want to have two caftans that have the same design, I thought about how I am going to make the dresses for the wedding for myself and my older sister. So I had the thought to just make that dress for the wedding for the Myrtle Beach wedding as well, and that would serve as like my mock-up. Okay, so the dress pattern for this dress that I made and I used as my mock-up is McCall's 7405, and I made View B. That's the dress that I made and the dress that I was planning to make for my sister's wedding for myself and my older sister to wear. The description for that dress is a loose fitting sleeveless pullover dress that has neckline gathers, a back neck slit, and hemline variations. View C has a belt and a side slit, and View D has an elasticized waist. Now, with this pattern, you will be able to make a casing. No, you will make a casing because you have to make casings for the top, and it has a drawstring to go through the casing. You will also sew a machine stitched hem. Basically, you're going to make a dress that is easy to sew with no zipper. Easy peasy, right? Okay, totally no-brainer sewing when you've been sewing for a while. Now, I don't normally make mock-ups because I don't have time for practice runs. Okay, and honestly, I don't even feel like it was even necessary to do that with a pattern like this. Plus, I had just made McCall's 8069, which looks almost identical to this pattern. But I thought, why not make it anyway, just so that I can get an idea of what it would look like, because the front portion of this pattern, which again is McCall's 7405, is closed versus open like the one I just made with McCall's 8069. Also, McCall's 8069, which is a jumpsuit that I made it is made with the knit fabric, and McCall's 7405 is with woven fabric. So I just figured, you know what, go ahead and make it so I can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So I had this beautiful, expensive fabric that I decided to use because after all, I was going to make this dress for the Myrtle Beach wedding, and I wanted to look fabulous, right? Absolutely fabulous, and that I was going to do. But I made this dress, I put it on, and this is what it looks like. This looks terrible. I mean, really, this is a beginner friendly learn to sew pattern. How did this happen? I have sewn so many different patterns that have way more advanced techniques and way more than this pattern, and I just made McCall's 8069, which is very, very similar to this, and this did not happen. And it's, like I said, it's almost identical. So how did this happen? I don't know what happened here. What happened? Can anyone tell me? I mean, seriously, this, I don't want to wear this all. I don't even want to fix it. So okay, so before I go ahead and show you like the full length of this dress and like the way it looks on, I just want to point out a couple of things on this pattern. So right here, this here McCall 7405, it was between this view and this view, okay, that I'm going to make. However, this is the view that I made that I'm going to show you today. No matter which view I make, all of the bodices, all the top portions of the dress are identical, okay? So you can see here where it goes up to the top of the neck and it just comes under the arms, and it even looks this way on the illustration that is not on the body, okay? The issue that I have is I have this big puckering, and I feel like it looks absolutely just bad. It just looks poorly constructed, even though I did it this way that it was supposed to. And even when you look under the arms, I mean, there's a little bit showing here. I did fix this a little bit before I made the dress, so more would have been showing. But even then, I mean, it's the big puckering right here. So this is the problem for me. And I don't know if this is a problem with my bust size or if this is a problem with the pattern in general. So right now I have it more gathered, but even when I open it out, I feel like it looks worse. It's just this opening right here. Like, I feel like it should be smooth and should go behind without me like pressing down. This is me hiding it and pressing down. I tried to take it in more, but when I took it in, I couldn't get it on. I couldn't get it over my boobs. It wasn't enough space. So I don't really know what to do. Maybe I should, like I said, I feel like I'm over it. Maybe I should just move on to a different pattern, or should I try to fix it? What are your thoughts? And even if I don't try to fix it, what are your thoughts? Because I do really like the style. Like I said, I can take the, I believe it's McCall's 8069, the jumpsuit that I just made. I could always take that bodice and just make the dress portion of this pattern, because they're pretty much almost identical, minus the top. The difference is this opens, and I believe there's got to be a difference underneath the arms. There's got to be. Even though I did modify the other pattern, it still didn't look like this before I modified it. So yeah, this may work for my sister because she has a smaller frame and a smaller chest, but this is not going to work for me, and we're supposed to wear the same dress, but that just may not work out. I might make it for her and we just have the same color and different dress, but I don't know, because like I said, I'm still having a hard time sourcing the fabric. So yeah, I just hope everything goes well, and I have like hardly no time. I have to get it together this coming week, the week that you are watching, so that I can at least get one dress made this week and get the other dress made by June, the beginning of June. So yeah, help me out in the comments below and let me know what your thoughts are. So I guess one of the biggest reasons why it bothers me so bad is because it just looks ill-fitting. And a lot of people know that I make my own clothes, especially when it comes to special occasions. And I just feel like I can't go out like this. It just does not look right at all. I don't know. Like I said, let me know your thoughts. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get back to this video, but just tell me, am I over exaggerating, or would you feel the same way? Like, I reviewed the photos, and while I don't think the dress looks as bad as it looked when I originally put it on, I still think it looks bad. So now, you know, I don't know, am I over exaggerating or not? What would you do? I feel like I'm all over the place. Let me know in the comments below. You know, after looking at the different people that I've seen in photos that have worn it, a lot of them had smaller chests, a lot of them didn't. So, you know, I was wondering, is it my bust that's throwing it off, or is it my weight that's throwing it off? Has anyone else had any experiences with this pattern like this? I mean, like I said, I've seen some versions of this, but I feel like it didn't look like this. You know, I saw a few that were heading in this direction, but it didn't look like this. So that was very, very, very disappointing to me. Number one, because I had an idea of what I was going to look like for that wedding, and I purchased like press-on nails to match that fabric. I polished my toes to match that fabric, and like I said, the fabric itself is absolutely gorgeous, feels beautiful, and for what? For nothing now, because it's all chopped up. I want to do a do-over. I want a do-over, but the reality is I did cut into it, and I can probably use parts of it to make like a cami or something like that, but the bulk of it is just probably unusable now because of how it's cut up. And I'm just kind of annoyed of this whole entire wedding dress making process because, number one, I can't find the right shade of gold fabric, still haven't found it yet, to make this dress. Number two, I now need to find a different pattern, which I know I can use McCall's 8069 and just make it into a dress instead of the pants version jumpsuit that I made. But I'm just kind of over it now, you know. I just want to move on. I don't want to think about it anymore. Sewing is fun for me, and when I have fails, it's not fun. And I know that's not the reality in life. There's always going to be ups and downs to everything that you have, but I'm over it. Unfortunately, I do need to get past this point, and that is because I have searched high and low to find a ready-to-wear dress to wear to my sister's wedding for me and my older sister, and I cannot find one in the right shade of gold at all. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you think happened with the process of making this dress? I made it exactly like it said to be made. The instructions were easy to follow. There were hardly any pattern pieces. I think I only used 3. I used the front, I used the back, and I used the drawstring. This didn't even have pockets. 3 pattern pieces. Easy to sew pattern. Instructions easy to follow. No first time experiences, no recommendations. Easy peasy. It really is a beginner friendly learn to sew pattern, but it just didn't go well. Do you think it's the pattern, or do you think it was me? Would you attempt to make it again if you were me? I mean, I don't want to. I don't think I will. If so, what type of alterations would you make to get a better fit? So yeah, normally when I like something, or if it's okay with me, I would say yes, yes, yes. But in this case, this pattern gets a
no, no, no.
Okay, this is not a winner in my book, and I am not even going to keep this pattern at all. I don't like to be defeated, but I don't think I'll ever try to figure this out or make it again, because there are just too many other patterns out there for me to try versus figuring this out. You know, like I said, I don't like to be defeated, but they can have this. Okay. All right. So now that you've heard my rant, you've seen the outcome of this dress in this pattern, please let me know what your thoughts are about this pattern and my dress. If you do have any suggestions and it seems feasible and quick, let me know what they are in the comments below, and I may go ahead and try that, because I really don't want to do the search over. And if I do switch it over to the 8069 McCall's pattern, I have to find gold in knit now. So yet another search for a shade of fabric that is now in a different type of fabric, from woven to knit. So I would love to hear your thoughts below. Have you ever had a sewing fail? How did it make you feel? But before you leave, please take a pause for the calls and click the like button and the subscribe button and the gray notification bell so that you can be notified of future videos. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of my new and returning subscribers for your support. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!